My initial idea was inspired by the short film Signs, which I had watched during my media lesson. I liked this film because it was silent, making it much more powerful, as I was able to understand that storylines can still be understood without verbal communication or dialogue. The storyline I came up with was about two characters, one male and one female. As I had to include different aspects of representation, I had decided that a male would be homeless and the woman would be middle class, working a professional job in the city. I had decided to make this film a non-dialogue film. The reason I chose to represent homelessness is because I found that they are underrepresented in the media. I chose to make the woman's role as it is, as women are usually represented as being less successful than men. So in basic words, I've switched the representation roles of men and women. The idea isn't fully developed as of yet, but this is what I had come up with so far, as I'm not too sure if my group members will agree to going through with it. So the female character passes the homeless man on her way to work. As she passes him, she leaves him loose change in the cup beside him. As she is about to walk off, he tries to take off tissue which is stuck to her shoe. However, the audience can't see that he is doing this just as he is reaching for her, so the camera would only show him grabbing her leg. It wouldn't show the tissue stuck or anything. She is frightened and believes he was trying to grab her leg, as do the audience at this point. She turns around and gives him a really dirty look. Once she arrives at work, she is informed that there is tissue stuck to her shoe. The female character then has a guilty expression on her face due to the events that occurred that morning. The next day she buys him a hot cup of coffee and leaves it beside him, and the post-it note reads, "I'm sorry." She bends over. The next morning, as she passes him, she sees a coffee cup beside him, and the post-it note reads, "Can I buy you a coffee?" on the same post-it note written by him. She bends down over and writes, "Yes, see you tomorrow." The following morning, the homeless man waits with her coffee, and then a split screen would be put in, and it would be of him at the coffee shop and her waiting to get the train to get to him, but she is late, and then it shows him getting upset. Then it goes back to her, and then it goes back to him throwing the coffee away. The next morning she goes to find him, but he is no longer sleeping in his original place. She returns for the next 2 days and he isn't there. After day 3, she's watching a news report on extreme weather conditions and the number of homeless people dying. So she gets ready, leaves to see if she can in some way find him and help him. And the camera zooms into the door as she leaves and zooms out really slowly. And we don't know what happens in the end. So that was my main initial idea. I really liked this idea that I came up with. But one of my main concerns is that we'd have to film in a really busy place, and I don't want members of the public in the background of the different scenes. So let's see what happens.